Hey, you guys. So I'm back again with another message. God dropped this in my spirit just now, but He was dealing with me about this a few days ago. Or He was just reminding me and just like showing me things. Follow the plan that God has for your life. Follow the plan that God has for your life. In the book of Jeremiah, God has a plan to prosper you and not to harm you and give you an expected end. But God does give us um, things that God does order our steps, right? And um so follow those plans and let God order your steps in your life. And the reason why I'm saying this is because all things work together for those that love the Lord and that's called according to His purpose. And even though it might not make any sense to you now, it will make sense to you when you get further down towards close to your destination. Um my high school graduation, I don't know, I shared this with testimony with um I gave it in a speech. But on my high school graduation, I knew I wanted to have a doctor's degree. I knew I wanted to be a professor. I knew that that's what God I knew I had a gift of teaching. And because even while I was in high school or in school, I was helping other people with their work. Like people, I was tutoring other people and stuff like that. I was very, very smart in school. And so I always kind of knew that I wanted to kind of teach, but I wanted to teach on collegiate level. I wanted to teach on college level. I didn't want to teach elementary school, middle school, high school. I wanted to teach on college level. And so, granted, the different things that I did through my journey in life, I didn't really realize when I was going through that God was using those type of things to equip me, to build me, to strengthen my skills, my gifts, in order for me to get where my heart desire was. And God placed that desire in me about teaching and about wanting to be a higher educator. Because the reason being is scripture tells us that through knowledge the just shall be delivered. So knowledge is power. And so a lot of people tend to go through a lot of generational curses, toxic cycles, um, different warfares and things like that repeatedly over and over again because they lack the knowledge. And so at first I didn't understand why God would tell me to do different things. But God had told me in one season, He said, be like Nike and just do it. Be like Nike and just do like I say. And I had to stop questioning Him and I just started doing different things. Did not know that by me teaching webinars and seminars and partnering with different community colleges and stuff to teach about business topics and things and help people have successful businesses, that was going to open doors for me and that was going to help build my resume towards teaching. Did not know that that by me starting my own business, that will open the door for me to actually partner with these different schools and organizations. Because mind you, like whenever I got out of high school, whenever I got out of college, graduated from college, I didn't get a job with my degree. But by me going to college and getting a business degree, and with my major was management accounting, but my major was a business degree. Well, it was, my degree is a business degree, but my consecration or specialization was management accounting. By me getting those fundamentals, God was giving me the resources that I needed to build my own table, so I can get so I can get the experience that I needed through His way. Because a lot of people wouldn't give me a seat at their table. A lot of people wouldn't hire me in accounting positions where I was well qualified for it. My degree showed it, but they didn't want to give me a seat at the table. And so, granted, doing those type of things, stepping on the faith, it was scary at times. It was challenging at times. It was hard at times. But it allowed me to get to the place that where God wanted me to be, which was to be able to educate his children, which is to be able to be a kingdom financier and help other people come become kingdom financiers on how to properly run business and how to properly do things and how to properly manage things. So y'all, it's very, very important to follow the plan for your life. Even my routes and my different schools that I went to when it come to my degrees, and how I build on top of each other. How I didn't just like get a degree here and get a degree. Like, all my degrees relate to one another, right? All of my degrees are business degrees. You know, I got a business degree with a management with a consecration and management of accounting, my BS degree. Then I got my master's in business administration. Then I went and got my doctor's in business administration with a specialization in finance. This is what God had told me to do. Not realizing that all these degrees were going to put me in a place to teach, and in a position to teach a lot of classes, a wide range of classes, and still be able to do it on my terms, right? And still be able to just teach in the capacity that I want to teach. And so it's so important, you guys, that you follow God's plan. And I was really trying to ask God, because, you know, I told you guys, and God, he revealed to you things, bits and pieces at a time. And I was really asking God, like, one time, like, why my family did me the way they did me, like, when it came to me, family, friends did me the way they did me when it came to me getting my doctor's degree. Because I moved in silence. I just let people know, like, my pictures, that I had obtained my doctor's degree and all this other stuff that was after my doctor's degree and stuff was concurred and all that other good stuff. And God had let me know that a lot of people were mad because I followed his plan and I was obedient and I built on top of my degrees. I don't have degrees like all over the place that are non-related. Like, my degrees that I have give me such of a place of something where I can fall back on. And if I decide, or God tells me, okay, you can come out of doing business now and just teach, I can teach a wide variety of classes. I'm not limited. And now these different universities and stuff, it's like, because of their accreditation, because of their accreditation, they require a lot of their professors to have doctor's degrees. 96% of certain schools, the teachers or professors have to have a doctor's degree. And then on top of that, they have to have several hours of related courses in order to teach certain courses. So that means all your degrees, from your bachelor's to your doctor's, they need to be your coursework during those time frames have to be related in order for you to teach certain classes. Well, I have that by being obedient to God. I have that by following the plan for God, that what he had for my life, and not do things in my own will and my own strength and my own way. And a lot of people are jealous of that and get jealous of that because they went and did things their way instead of doing things God's way. And now they're in a predicament where if they would have been obedient, they would have had things to fall back on. If they would have been obedient, they would have had more options. But now they don't, because they didn't do what God has called them to do. They weren't, thank you, Holy Spirit, they weren't walking in their purpose. It's so important, you guys, for you to know what your purpose is. It's so important for you to follow the voice of God and do what God has called you to do. I knew this since I was a little girl. Like, I knew that I wanted to be an educator since I was little. God had placed that in me and it never went away. I knew I was going to be a business owner. But I didn't know what type of journey or how God was going to capacitate me to get there. But I was obedient. I did what he said do, when it didn't make sense. I came off a job during COVID when it didn't make sense. I started doing webinars and seminars during COVID when it didn't make sense. During a time of darkness and trouble for a lot of people, I listened to God, and that's where God began to allow me to give birth to a lot of things, which caused me to get to where I am today. So be obedient, y'all, when it comes to following the plan that God has for your life. It's for a reason, okay? Just don't do things in your own will and you want the blessings and the things of God. You have to do things his way, okay? So I love you guys. I pray that you all have an amazing day. Follow the plan for God. Follow the plan that God's have for your life. and I will chat with you all later.